And we move to the Republican health care bill. They're trying to fix Obamacare. It's proving to be rather difficult. Scott Ehrlich, a writer with The Federalist and a healthcare industry expert, joining us now on Trending Today USA. Scott, what is the big problem that they're having trying to fix the Affordable Care Act?
There's many. The main thing is it's really hard, if not impossible, to do comprehensive health insurance. You can't do it. There's too many people in this country, too many different things. It's too expensive, and people want great care for no money and great access, and you can't have all three.
You know, this is something that really kind of changed in the course of the last 8 years. Originally, it was we're going to repeal Obamacare, but the longer it was in there, of course, the more used to it people got, and then suddenly it became repeal and replace. And I don't think the Republicans were prepared to replace it with anything yet.
They don't really seem to know what they want, to be honest with you. You know, I was just pouring over some data in advance of this call. The CBO bill says that came out yesterday, which was big news, says in I believe by 10 years, and we know how accurate the CBO is, especially 10 years out, but going with the prediction, it says 23 million people fewer would have insurance in 2026 than they would now if the AHCA would pass. If you look at the analysis they put of the bill that they had a few years ago, the one that was just a straight repeal, It was the exact same number, which means that the Republicans are basically gaining no coverage, but not getting nearly the deficit reduction they would have had they just done a straight repeal rather than a repeal and replace.
Could they just simply repeal this bill and let the chips fall where they may, or do they need to come up with a replacement bill?
I argued way back when in my first article that that's exactly what they should have done. They should have repealed it and then just started piecemeal putting together popular things that would have helped get coverage for people, as well as got probably some bipartisan support. If you repealed the whole bill and then dared the Democrats to vote against an amendment that said we want to guarantee health care coverage for pre-existing conditions, we want to allow people to stay on insurance under 26, we want to do community rating. Those aren't conservative positions by any means, but they are politically popular ones. So the Republicans could have repealed it, said they repealed it, got rid of the individual mandate, got rid of the tax increases, but then probably got some bipartisan cover to put back in some of these popular things. Or they could have had the Democrats campaign against them, and then they could have just turned the argument on the head, basically saying, well, here's a bill out there that would reinstate coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, and you guys are the ones voting against it. So why do you want people to die? But the Republicans have no discernible messaging strategy and no united front, so that's why they're getting killed on this issue.
And it's nothing unusual for a Republican Congress to have no discernible messaging strategy. They never seem to have one.
No, and it's crazy to me because the whole bill, the whole point of this, the way it was sold was that people are dying in the streets due to medical bankruptcy.
Yeah.
We need to make policies cheaper because healthcare growth is all that. Where are they getting killed now? It's on pre-existing conditions and a number of people that will lose healthcare coverage.
Yeah.
These were not the issues that the bill was passed on.
Right.
In fact, the CBO, like I said, says 23 million people will lose healthcare coverage in 2026 if the AHCA passed. They
Scott,
said 23 million. Yep.
I got to jump in. I'm up against a wall on time. We're going to have you back. We got more to talk about. Scott Ehrlich, writer with The Federalist and healthcare industry expert. Scott, thank you so much.